that when you're going to some sort of a website that contains the database of the candidates, you want to extract that data into your database with all of the contact details, right? Yeah, so this is unfortunately, this would be amazing if we could do, but this is not what we're doing. So, again, getting deeper into what we are doing. So, we have three models in total, okay? I'm saying three models because these are the models that are in English. We have another fourth one that is for the countries, very specific countries in Europe, which is the market analytics tool, which is basically aggregating all the jobs that we find online. And then we are giving the tools in order to analyze these jobs and see, what are the companies that are hiring, and they could be a potential clients for you, right? But this is not available in Kenya, so I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm going to skip that part and I'm going to dig deeper into what we could actually offer to you. So, these three models are the first one is the CV parsing. So, the CV parsing, I'm sure you imagine what is that, but basically that is on one side to reduce the time that the candidate needs to apply to the position, and also for you as a recruiter not to have to add the information manually into the database when you receive the CV from the candidate. So it might be that you're receiving that CV. I'm not sure what is the current process. How does the candidate apply where you are receiving the CVs? Right. So this is that part that we are helping with the CV parsing technology because in this case, you would not have to spend your time into adding manually this information. So what you're going to do is that there's this backend system that I'm showing to you. So the interface, this would be completely integrated into your CRM. It's not a standalone solution. So it's just for the demo purposes to show you the functionality. So I'm just going to, yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. So I'm gonna just take an exemplary CV. I'm gonna process it. It's gonna take around few seconds for the system to recognize the language, the pattern. The format of the CV can be like whatever, up to the most crazy ones and also the most common ones like PDF and document. We also process the images if the CV is scanned. We can also extract the textual information from that as well. What you can now see in my screen is this split screen where on the left you're seeing that CV that I have attached, the HTML version of that, and then on the right side is that data model where we are extracting this information to. So what are the fields that are included into the standard data model? So basically we have the summary, which is like very easy to understand what is there, right? Then the personal details, so basically all the details about the person as like address, social media accounts, telephone numbers, and such. Then, if we're going to go to the education, there are, in this case, 2 points of data that we have extracted. That's exactly what we can see on the left side. And what data about each point of education, I'm just going to mark one in green. So we found the education level, which is being normalized, meaning that there is a predefined educational system categories where we're going to assign each candidate whatever he is writing in his natural language. Then the diploma obtained. In this case, there is no value. Name of institution, degree direction, start date, and end date. And the same, very similar, is going with the work experience. So in this case, we extracted 4 points of data. That's what we see in the CV. And then again, about each point of that experience, we see that we extracted the job title, employer, start date, end date, and job description. Okay. So this is all what we found in that CV. And the last one is the professional skills, which are the languages, IT skills, personal skills, professional skills, hobbies, and interests. And that's exactly what we can see right here. Sure. Yeah, exactly. So Mhm. So you can choose what information you want to take because the output of all of this is an XML file that we're gonna send to you, or JSON for that matter, and you're gonna then decide which information you want to integrate, right? So it basically depends on you. It's not necessarily that this is that locked data model that you're gonna have to use. It's just showing you the possibilities, what we extract, and then whatever you want to use from it. You guys do it. So you access the system through the API, our system through the API. You're making a call from your CRM to our system in order to make that extraction. We index the data, we categorize that in this way. We send you back the XML file, and then we delete the data. So we are just, that intermediary, temporary um, thing. Yes. Yes. Mhm. And basically, if that is a third party provider, that CRM that you're using, so probably they also have to be included unless they're having their technology as an open source. Mhm. All right. Yeah, so this was the CV parsing. So in order to get to the other models, we got to have the data structured and categorized, right? In order to perform the semantic search and semantic match. These are the two other models. And these models basically are allowing you. So I believe that you have some sort of a search functionality in your CRM, right? Yeah. So the difference between that search functionality, that is this traditional Boolean based search functionality, and the semantic search is basically allowing you to look into the meaning of the keyword that you're typing rather than the keyword literally. So, for example, if you're looking for the CEO, obviously you're not interested to seeing your shortlist an assistant of the CEO, a person that has been reporting to the CEO. All of these are irrelevant if I'm looking for the CEO, right? It's just the noise that is appearing in my shortlist because it has been a literal search made. So, what the semantics is doing is it's going to eliminate all of this noise and only leave me the person that actually had the role of the CEO. And apart from that, there is going to be also the related terms and the synonyms involved in that. And say, if you're looking for the CEO, obviously you're interested to find the general manager, right? It's just a game of the words that one company is calling that person this way and the other company in the other way, and the person also has these different natural language used in their CVs. So in order not to skip these people have general manager written instead of the CEO, what the semantics is doing, it's enriching the search automatically without any interaction of the human being and finding all of these options as well. So for example, if we're looking another example, project manager, I see that the system recognized that project manager is a position. We can see here that it says it's a position. It's going to only look for me into this section of the CV that is a position, nowhere else. I'm selecting that. And what I can see, there's this plus 15 number, which means that there are 15 other options that it's looking apart from that keyword that I just typed. So there is a project executive, project director, project coordinator, and everything is super transparent. So if you're disagreeing with some of these options, you can just, say project leader, maybe it's a little bit too high if I'm looking for the project manager, so you can disagree. And there are the spelling variations if you're made a mistake or the candidate has made a mistake in his CV. This is also going to be found. And also I can teach the system to behave in the way as I want it to behave in the future. So for example, I can add the term that makes sense only to me as a user. So, for example, here I added Scrum because, like, for me, it kind of makes sense when I'm looking for the project manager in my IT industry, let's say, to add Scrum. Right? Yeah, and the same, let's say that project manager needs to know Java. It recognized that Java is an IT skill. So I'm selecting that. I see that there are many other options that are saying that this could be related with Java. I can disagree, obviously. I can leave that on. And yeah, and then let's say I'm looking for that person in York. And what I can do with the geolocation, which is also very interesting, is that I can decide what radios I want to look around that location that I typed, more than just that location itself, right? So if we know that there are many people that are living in the suburbs that are traveling to New York, let's say, to work, right? So why to lose these people out of my radar? I would like to include them, and the system has the map in mind and includes all of these small villages and suburbs around New York. Okay. So this was the, well, I don't have any candidates now, so I'm just going to take one criteria. So this was the semantic search basically. And now the semantic match is, well, exactly following the same logic, except that I do not need to type the keywords anymore. So it's a bidirectional matching. We can match the candidate to the jobs and also the job to the candidates. And basically, if I have now the database of the candidates, so I'm just choosing one candidate and say, well, I would like some candidate that has more data about him. And I say match the jobs. Now this candidate's profile is being converted into the query automatically. We're going to wait for it. Yeah, so now this is my candidate. It's also enriched semantically. I have all of these synonyms and related terms as well. And now I can see the jobs that are being suggested for that candidate. And I see that this signal strength is showing me how relevant is the match that was being made. And I see that it's not perfect at all. I see that, yeah, these jobs, like, so this is the thing that I think that you're looking for, and I'm afraid that we cannot deliver, is that the candidates and the jobs are your database information. So we are not providing neither the jobs nor the candidates data. Everything what you have in your CRM right now is going to be the data that we're going to use to perform this. Sure. Well, our normal practice is not to really offer that as a standalone, because it's not, let's say it's not that stable as a CRM or an ATS could be. Okay, so there are like different factors that might, well, it's very very unlikely that this could happen, but let's say the stability of the system, so that to assure that no data would be lost, is not something that we're taking care of so much. Like, it has never happened in our 16 years of history of the company, but still we strongly advise to have an ATS or a CRM first, so that you would have all the functions that you need. For example, from our system, since we are not competing with the CRM and ATS, so we do not have the function, for example, to right away from the system contact the candidate, because this is not our business. Okay. So, like, if this is something that you would need, well, we could not deliver to you because we're not developing that to compete with it. Well, this is something that normally, if you do not have in-house development team, and it's not well, the search and match is a little bit of the more complicated and time-consuming project. But the CV parsing, the one that I showed you before, the extraction of the data, all the models, by the way, can go separately. Okay, so if you want only the CV parsing, it's okay. If you want this, it's also we can add as an add-on. Now, the CV parsing is really easy to integrate because it's just the calls to the API that you're going to receive all the documentation, how to perform. And I don't think that you would actually need some help, just that one person could develop that. Now, with the search and match, yes, you would need more resources in order to make that happen. And if you do not have that in house, we normally suggest a third party provider as an integrator because we ourselves do not really perform these kind of functions as well. We're way too occupied with our developments, and unfortunately, we cannot do that. Yes. Sorry. Yes. So you can use this screen as an iframe if you want. If you want, you can develop your own UX. So basically, it just really depends on you. The easiest way is to use this iframe, which yes. Well, for the CV parsing, you can use that split screen that I showed to you, yes, but it's if you want to put some your own branding on it or something, you can develop your own. If you want to use ours, it's possible. Yes, no problem. Good question. So, what we do normally when we start to work with new clients, obviously they have already a historical database of the CVs that they want to parse, right? And this is normal. So, so when we start the cooperation, we parse this historical database of the CVs all at once, and you're gonna have to just send us all of these CVs through the FTP, just upload them to a server so that we could parse them for you, and then we're gonna send you that these XML files, and later on, it's gonna be one-on-one. So you yourself do not really have the possibility to upload multiple CVs. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it still would need to be integrated into CRM, right? If that was. Mhm. Yes, that's correct. Mhm. Pardon me? Yes. Yeah, free models, the CV parsing, search and match. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Okay, perfect, Jackson. So any question that you might have, you have my email. Feel free to send me an email. And yeah, lovely speaking with you. Let me know what your colleagues are going to think. Perfect. Perfect. Great. All right. Have a great day.